Today we're talking about care and maintenance of Damier Azure. Welcome to LV ReLoved. Thank you for joining us today. Please subscribe to my channel so that you're the first to know of all my new uploads. Also like the video if you enjoy the content, or if you have any ideas on videos, please comment below. Today we're talking about care and maintenance of Damier Azure. It is a little bit more delicate of a pattern, obviously, because it's lighter. I have made this video in the past. It's one of my most popular, most viewed videos, but I wanted to recreate it because the audio was poor. This is my 2012 Noe. It's in very good shape. I just got done using it for about 2 to 3 weeks. I can already see, color transfer on the corners. From your jeans, no matter how old my jeans are, they always tend to rub off on the Vachetta. So I want to go over that and kind of just make sure none of it gets on the canvas, or if it does, I wipe that off in a timely manner. There's some right there, you can kind of see it, because the longer it sits on here, the more permanent it gets. It gets more difficult to come off. So I tend to clean it. If I've been wearing it for an amount of time, I can start to see that it's getting a little dingy. So what I do to begin with, before I kind of put her away for a little while, is I get a dry toothbrush and kind of dust out the corners of the bag, shake out all the crumbs or the. So once I get all that out, I check and see if there's any real stains or dirt spot. It's kind of just a little discolored at the top, probably just from my hands reaching in and out. So what I like to use is this very gentle Folex. I bought the big, it comes in much smaller, but I bought the big one because I really like this stuff. And I get a clean cloth, and these are just cut up t-shirts from my husband. They're kind of dingy themselves. And I wash them constantly because I go through them often. And I'll just wipe. And it does a really good job of getting that. I don't want to say it's a stain, but it's, just the top part of your bag, just from reaching in and putting your items inside, it starts to get a little darker from use. And you don't necessarily have to get it wet, but this is so gentle that you can. This is nowhere near any time to polish the brass. The brass still looks nice and bright on here. Regarding the exterior, you can see there is some color transfer. It may be hard to catch on the camera, but I can see it. And it looks a little gray. It's actually from the denim. It gets on there quickly. The longer it's on your bag, the more permanent it becomes. There's some right there. And it just kind of looks dingy. I've seen some bags that are really dark. So you want to, get to that periodically. I mean, I'm not saying to clean your bag every day. I've had this in use for 2 to 3 weeks. And this is obviously the side that hits my jeans or my coat or whatever I'm wearing. You can tell on the corners too. Well, that corner's a little more worse. It's probably from when I put it in the car. That's probably the first corner that hits the seat. So this is a 2012 bag, and it's been very well taken care of, and it hasn't been used a lot. I don't baby my bags, but like I said, after a couple weeks, especially if it's Azure, I do want to let her rest for a while. For the exterior, I like to use just basic items. I use white vinegar water. It's probably about a 10 to 20% vinegar to water ratio. It seems to be the most safest for me. And so I can see how much the initial pass will take off on the canvas. And if that's not working, I have my backup, which is I've been using Zote. It's a laundry soap. It's very delicate and it's used for whites to brighten them. And I don't use it on the Vachetta, but I do use it on the canvas. So if I need extra scrub power, I get a soft bristle brush. And it has taken up a little bit of the, see if it picked it. Yeah, you can kind of tell it picked it up a little bit on the white cloth. See, it is. I can already tell it's starting to brighten. And wow, it is already picking up. You may see a little bit of blue. Again, that's mainly just from my jeans. And if I wanted to dig in a little deeper with the cleaning, I just do this. I get a little of soap and it's mainly on this bottom part here. And I may let that dry, and if I need to go over it again, because I still see some on there. It'll never be perfect, but it can get close. So let me get this side real quick. The Vachetta, and as you can see, the corners have color. Look how white the bottom is just because it doesn't see the sun. And it doesn't get touched as much. I don't put my bags on the floor, as you all know. So I will get a clean one, and this is my vinegar water. We won't use that. And I will try and do a before and after. I'm going to even out the liquid in the cloth. I have in the past used white eraser in extreme cases. I really don't like to use it. I've used it on the canvas too, but I don't recommend it. It will come back to haunt you because it's basically like sanding. So I really don't advise it. I've ruined a bag using, I ruined an Alma. I had to end up, I think I had to have it dyed because I just, see how wet it gets? I mean, I'm not soaking it, but I'm going over it with a damp cloth, and it's not going, you'll see when this dries, it's not going to leave a mark or any watermarks. See, it's picking up. You know, vinegar water is also good for deodorizing. Of course, there's some odors that are not removable at all. And a lot of them would be, well, for one is cigarette smoke. That will not come out. I've never had luck, and trust me, I've tried them all. I've tried all the tricks. Freezing, I've tried activated charcoal, I've tried ozone or whatever, I've tried Lysol, I've tried Lysol spray, I've tried the sun, and cigarette is just one that will not come out. I bought professional grade products that did not get cigarette out. And another one is like a musty, wet, especially in the older luggage type pieces that may have a wipeable liner. Those are pretty hard to get out. I tried fabric softener. I tried essential oils. I bought some really expensive ones that are supposed to, you know, clean and deodorize and sanitize. And the smells themselves don't smell good. And I'm not talking about lavender. I'm talking about like clove is supposed to be a good one. And it just didn't work. So I've gone through a pass on that. Let's look at our sides here. Probably will do a pass on this. See that, don't worry about that, that'll all come out. And then we want to get the tops. Be very gentle along the top. This is such a thin piece of leather. It's easy to be replaced and is not a significant amount, but for the amount of wear that it gets, just want to not give it any more stress than it already gets. The Vachetta has had a chance to dry, and I'm looking over the spots that I've worked on a couple of times to see how light they are, and they've gotten much of the color out. I actually can't even see any color transfer right now. That Zote I went over a couple more times. It really did a good job of taking the color transfer. I can't detect it. Maybe a teeny bit in this square, maybe a little bit right there. Very hard to detect. And the corners are much better. Since I did go over the Vachetta a few times, I do want to put a light conditioner on it. Put some extra conditioner up here, because again, there's the brunt of a lot of wear and tear. So my go-to would be the Cadillac for this light of Vachetta. I also have been known to use this. A friend Jean with Lex 2.0 recommended this, and I do use this a lot. But I think for today's project, I will stick with the Cadillac. I think that's all it needs. It's in really good condition, the leather. But I might put some of the saddle butter along the top. And this, amazingly, as oily or emollient as it is really intense, it does not darken the Vachetta. So for the Cadillac, just kind of wipe it on. You can see it kind of, because it's a lightweight moisturizer, or conditioner I should say. So kind of massage it in, and I'll probably only do one coat because I think it only needs that much. And you can't really overdo it with this. And the only time I think it would ever really make a spot is if you left a big dollop of it to dry. And we know you won't do that. And of course, I will also put this on the canvas. Just kind of massage it in. Lots of nooks and crannies on this top trim. You know, the Vachetta on Damier Azure actually has a little bit different treat to it. It is a different color than what's on Monogram. Here she is, all clean and dry. As you can tell, she's still really light, and the canvas is just bright and crisp looking, very clean. Here's the bottom. Corners look really good. Not perfect, but do you necessarily want a perfect bag? Much better than what it was before. I won't thread the leather because it will kind of wear it down, and I won't thread the buckle either because that's how you get those brass marks on the leather, and the brass tarnish on the leather is really difficult to get out. Wrap her up in tissue. Set it in there. Carefully just put it in. Nothing too fancy, and I don't always keep my bags in a dust bag. So she'll probably just sit on my shelf like this, but I will have some stuffing in there so that a crease does not become a memory on the sides, because I like how her shape is nice and crisp. And canvas, after a while, if it's like this, stored like this, or the weight of a strap, it'll actually remember that, and it's really hard to get out. Same with the leather. Like if the leather was folded, you don't want to do that. So to keep them looking really good at their best, these are some of my tips. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Would love to hear your feedback on this video. Hopefully it's better than the last one because of the audio. And we'll be seeing you soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and until we meet again, bye.